What's going on, CREWMARU and Toy Canic fans? Today we are having a very special CREWMARU Creators Club Day with a dear friend of mine, Mr. Craig Warrack. If you guys don't know of Craig, then what's wrong with you? Um, no, he's I've known Craig a very long time. Actually, one of the first people I met in the toy community, and so thank you for joining me today, Craig, for us to just shoot back and forth.
Hi, thanks. Um, yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on youtube.com/CREWMARU. CREWMARU.
This is where I
Bill,
like. I
Bill,
just get up and like
Bill
walk.
Mary, as we were
Yeah,
talking
watch
about
me just get up
beforehand.
and walk out of the room and just let you just leave you here. It's like, oh, it's just this empty shot right here.
So we're
Um,
live now, right?
yeah. Well, it's funny too because like I don't know. I've been trying to. The whole point of this thing is to bring on big creators from our community, and that's what I want to introduce people, or just like to get kind of an insight, and maybe get some inspiration because obviously you. I think you've inspired a lot of people.
You want to hitch your trailer to my star, Billy, is what you're trying to
That's
tell.
exactly. If I'm gonna ride some coattails, I'm gonna ride the fanciest, nicest coattails around.
Oh,
Oh look, Brian Pena says hi, Bill. Craig's here too, so you should probably say hi to
I know. Well, hi, Brian.
Craig. Ben Hassan says, "What's up?" Well, I guess we'll, like I like to try to keep this as casual as possible, which is generally that's our relationship anyway. So, what's going on? What's new with Craig? Yeah, there you go. Loosen up.
Fucking nothing, Billy.
Nothing at all.
Fucking nothing. I mean, what? We're in the eternal lockdown, which,
Yeah.
fine for me. Oh, for those that don't know me, hi, I'm Craig Warwick. I live in Scotland. Scotland is part of the United Kingdom. So we're in lockdown at the moment because we have something called COVID-19. I don't know if it's reached where you are in the world. I don't
What?
know if you've heard of it.
Is it a UK
But
thing?
yeah, I think so. It's incredibly fashionable here. Everyone's doing it. But yeah, we're in a lockdown. We had lockdown from last March till around September time, started to ease it, and then Christmas came and it went crazy, so we're locked down again. But now we've got vaccination. Everything's going to be marvelous. So
Oh my
we're all going to be fine. Everything's going to go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
And when when this lockdown ends, I'm going to stay in my house. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to speak to anyone. The same as usual. It doesn't impact my life on a huge basis.
Nothing's gonna change.
I don't have any friends in the real world anymore.
I think once you get married, you don't really it's not that important anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Christine
Yeah,
keeps
you've
me in check.
often told me the lack of importance, like, was Anthony and those that, like, just not.
Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need that. Don't
It's
need
just a
that.
hassle, really.
Right.
Just a hassle.
I think that's what,
Clayton, I mean,
that was like one time whenever I was on I was talking to Wade from Unparalleled Universe, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, I needed to be on his show. I think it was the Christmas special he was doing, and I was like, man, I need to get on there probably early because I have to go to Anthony's last wrestling show because he was a referee in wrestling. And I was like, I don't even like wrestling, but friends. And he's like, yeah, friends are whack. I was like, God damn it. It's like that's. I was like, yeah, okay. Cracked me up, man. But
yeah.
no. So here recently, I have to talk about the more fun recent events that I've seen from you. Is your Scooby Doo, your Star Wars Scooby Doo stuff? What? Oh, oh, look at that.
These guys over here.
There's some right there
People
behind
can't
you.
make it out. But yeah,
I can
they're
see.
over
I can
here.
definitely see Thelma and Fred. What made you do that? Like, is that just for you?
Yeah, basically. So I have an online friend that I speak to on Instagram called Lights Camera Tentacles, and he does like you know how we as adults we try and find ways to play with toys, like
Yeah.
toy, whether it's customizing or whether it's repairing or
Right.
whether it's toy photography. It's all play
Yeah.
in a way. Well, the way he does toy photography and customizing and all this, but he sort of, I'll say, plays with the toys in a way that he writes stories with them and puts them all in a single universe. So he takes Aliens and he takes Star Wars and he takes Doctor Who and he takes Marvel, and he kind of creates this multiverse sort of area that they all go together.
Cool.
So it was just kind of that, him taking the different properties and smooshing them together, that kind of made me want to give it a try. And when like a new Star Wars movie's coming out and we all get bitten by the bug,
Yeah.
and we end up buying figures and then like they're just hanging around, you're just like, ugh, why have I got like, and then they do a Black Friday sale and you're like, I'll get Zori Bliss. Fucking Zori Bliss. I'll get some Death Star Trooper. He looks cool. And then you get him and you're like, oh. So I guess it was just a way to use up fodder initially, but then it kind of escalated a bit as things do, because I was like, well, this is turning out interesting and cool. So
Awesome.
I kind of moved it up and wanted to try the Mystery Machine thing as well. So, and I love Scooby-Doo. I love them.
Yeah, that is so cool. Like I don't know. It's obviously you have a. Well, I want to say you have a style, but it's interesting the way that you can, like, I know you definitely have this uniqueness that I can definitely tell that Craig did it. And look at that. That looks so, like, I don't think I've ever seen you do a vehicle before.
No.
Oh, so that was a
It's
new one.
a first for me.
Look at that.
Well, a first I've shown anyone, that's for sure.
Oh.
Because the vehicles are horrendous for the paint peeling right off them.
Yeah.
And for just, the pay, it's such a big thing to do a vehicle, and the payoff really isn't there. Like, and I think, like, a lot of people are into, like, hi, hello, hi there. A lot of people are, like, always asking for, like, 6-inch vehicles, and I don't really ever see the point in it. Like, as soon as you put a figure in the driver's seat of a vehicle and close it might as well not be there.
Mm.
Like, it's essentially putting a figure in a box. So unless the vehicle, like, if you're going to do a Punisher van,
Sure,
it's going to be a van.
right.
Unless it's the outside of it's going to be interesting in some way. So that was kind of my thing.
Yeah, and that's funny you mentioned that, because I've seen, like, I'm not a gigantic Star Wars fan. Like, I am a fan, and like you say, I get the bug, it seems like, every now and then. I have certain characters that I absolutely love, and I've seen some of the vehicles that come out, and my God, I mean, where do you put it? Like, that right there. So I got the Mystery Machine, too, just because I'm a big Hanna-Barbera fan. I'm a big cartoon fan. And I wanted that Mystery Machine for the Mystery Machine. And I saw so many people modding that thing into other things, and it drove me crazy because it's the Mystery Machine. Like, when people made that into a Punisher van, it looked hilarious, because I'm like, did Punisher pick this up off the... Dude, did he pick it up off the lot of, like, Karen's house or something, like, while she was dropping her kids off or something? I was like, this is so funny. And for you to take the Mystery Machine and to kind of, like, space it out a little bit, it really reminds me of, there's a lot of Spaceballs in that, taking, like, kind of a regular vehicle, and I love that. There's a cool comedy kookiness to it. I don't know. You're one of those people that obviously I respect, and your work just impresses the hell out of me every time I see it. But that was just a fun... I could tell that you put some love into that, and that was really cool.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Spaceballs, because in the construction of Velma, I was kind of, when it's before it's painted and that, and you're like, I've just made Dark Helmet. Like...
That is awesome. That's awesome.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Paint a bright orange so people don't see it.
Captain McKay mentioned in here. He said that's the problem he had with his TMNT Scooby van, is the paint just repelled right off of it. I haven't picked up another. I haven't painted mine or done anything with it because I kind of like it for what it is. But I'd be willing to probably, if I found another one, since it's so cheap, like it's $20 I think here, which is really good for a vehicle, or whatever. I'm thinking about trying that. I was telling you, I think about that Duplicolor, that automotive vinyl spray, and the reason why I think that stuff would work, And it'd be worth a shot. If it doesn't work on that van, it's still a damn good primer, so you can use it for whatever customizing. But these dollar store guns that I had got, literally from the dollar store, they're like 6-inch scale, but they came with like 3 or 4 inch figures. It was ridiculous, the cheap stuff. But the guns look good. It was like old, yeah, it makes you think of like old Playmates, like Ninja Turtles. How there's nothing there, but there's so much there once you bring out the paint and the
That's
sculpt.
it.
Yeah, but so anyways, I hit that with Duplicolor and it stayed, and then paint applied right to it. So I don't know if that's that. What I guess it's since it's meant to attach to like fabric and vinyl, maybe.
Yeah. So what I did with well, the people in the chat and watching later, as I just twat my earpiece out my ear. Hello.
Yeah.
So I actually messaged Billy saying, I'm struggling with this, and he pointed me towards the automotive spray. I couldn't get the exact duplicolor one he recommended, but I did use an automotive spray. But I also just sanded it all down, and I fucked it right up.
No.
Fucked it right up. Like the surface, it looked just terrible. And then I just had to go in and like resand it all down, but I didn't think it really mattered because it was kind of like a Star Warsy gritty thing.
Yeah.
That would help get the weathering across it. But I tidied it up and then did the automotive spray, and like it's perfectly fine. Like I can scratch it and the paint doesn't come off or anything.
Okay.
And that's something that I wouldn't normally do to any of my customs, is give them a trial run by scratching them.
No kidding.
Let me just check that this 9 months of work is actually worth it.
Yeah. Just to see if that'll work. Just real quick, I have to do that awkward deal. I think your beard is scratching your microphone.
Oh.
It's not gonna bother. There you go. The whole time it's just this awkward cord in front of your face. How am I supposed to do this? It's not gonna matter. I just wanted you to know. I just wanted you to feel awkward the rest of the entire deal.
I'll try and suspend
it. You're just gonna be standing like super awkward the entire time. I just don't want you to go back and watch it and be like, why didn't he tell me? Things are about to get interesting. I should have worn my suspenders. I let you down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Billy's come dressed as a homeless man from a snuff film today, everyone. So,
if you guys have watched the news, Texas is cold. And
Texas has 3 inches of snow and has been propelled into the dark ages.
We've shut it down. It's crazy. Like all the donut shop that was semi near us was open today, so that was a good sign. That's how you know we're getting. That's how you know we're really looking at the important things in life. The Walmart is shut down.
Oh, thank God.
Our Walmart shut down. So for like small town Texans, that's an emergency. That's trouble.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's how you know.
My first experience, one of my first experiences of really everyday American life. Like I've been to America on vacations to like Orlando, Florida, and these places, but aren't really real America. But when I was first dating the man who became my husband, and I went to visit him in the US, and that was in Salem, Virginia, and we went to a Walmart. And my first experience of Walmart was going in, and there was this huge greeter, and she just turned around and belched right at us. It's like, bleh. It's like, this is classy. And then there was another particularly robust woman on one of those little scooters going round.
Yeah.
And she had like a grabby stick to get things off the shelves. And her grabby stick couldn't quite handle the weight of like a huge tub of mayonnaise. So she had to call someone over to lift the mayonnaise off. I was like, you've had enough mayonnaise.
I feel like it literally feels like they found out somebody from the UK was coming over, and they're like, all right, he's here. Go. Bring everything horrible and stereotypical in right now. That's
Shields up, red alert.
Yeah, get the mayonnaise woman in here. That's so crazy. It's funny. I remember I remember the Virginia, because that you had won one of the Sentinel contests, and I remember I was like, oh
Which
my
one of
god,
your contests? Don't answer,
right?
Billy.
Yeah,
Which one?
every single. I swear, I was like, I remember. I went back not too long ago and saw the reaction. I was like, this is unbelievable for me. And I remember it was the Sentinel one. I was like, God, you're gonna pay for this one. I was like, that's okay though. This is you. You're like, oh, actually, I'll be in Virginia. I was like, I love you. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig. The stars aligned for me on that one. The same thing happened to me actually with Anthony's Customs with that quarter scale Aquaman statue I got. He just so happened to be moving right next to me when I made my final payment. And he's like, "You want me to deliver that to you?" I was like, "What a sweetheart." I was like, "Yeah, because I don't want to pay for shipping on that nightmare." Oh, no thank you. Oh, look, A. Marto's here. Anthony's here for you, Craig.
Oh, well, my life's complete, huh? Thank you for joining us, Anthony.
He says, "I love that sexy bastard." I think he's
Of
talking.
course he does.
I think he's talking about you. Yeah,
Well,
yeah, definitely talking about you. Brian asked, "Do we know where to get a good mech?" I don't.
a mech?
I don't really. I don't really collect. I'm not a mech collector. A mech collector. I'm not sure what you would call
Well,
that.
he says Mechanic Godzilla.
Oh.
Wait, is that Matt?
Oh.
Brother Craig, do you know where... Oh, Brian, you're illiterate. Hold on. Hang
Yeah.
on a second.
Yeah.
Illiterate. Man, Bill, or Crag.
I love
I think
that.
that's him trying to write.
From now on, I'm going to call
Do
you
you know...
Craig.
Do you know where can get a good cheap Mechanic Godzilla? You robot Godzilla? I started collecting Godzilla action figures.
I don't collect Godzilla.
Can't answer me, he says.
Oh, I can. Yeah, he's Brian shows up every stream to bring some flavor.
Mechagodzilla is a difficult character to get. You know, I'm a Godzilla fan. I've got some Godzilla toys here.
Okay.
So Mechagodzilla is a difficult character to get hold of because NECA don't have the license or didn't have the license to do anything other than the Big G himself. So it's really the SH Monster Arts figures, and they've done a few Mechagodzillas, but they're very expensive these days because they're not coming out anymore. But I mean, I don't want to have spoilers or anything, but I kind of feel in my waters that Mechagodzilla might be turning up again soon. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
If Kong and Godzilla are fighting, they have to unite over a common enemy. We've done Mothra, we've done Ghidorah. Who's left? Yeah.
Are you excited about the movie?
Oh yes, I'm at full mast. No, okay. Yeah, sure. Why
Right.
not?
Yeah.
I don't really do the excited for things further down the road. I'm too old for excitement. But, sure. I did enjoy the previous movies enough.
Okay.
I really enjoyed Kong of Skull Island, bizarrely.
Okay.
If anyone hasn't seen it, I do recommend they see it. It isn't the complete turd that you imagine it would be. It's actually pretty good, and it's much better than either of the Godzilla movies. So,
okay. Did you?
Yeah, I'd recommend people check those out.
So yeah, I actually haven't seen Skull Island yet. I did see the Peter Jackson one. Did you like the Peter Jackson Kong movie? Okay,
well,
good to know.
I liked it at the time.
Yeah.
And even at the time, I was kind of like,
it's a little long. Feels long.
This ain't Lord of the Rings. This is King Kong, right? I know King Kong is an iconic movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's iconic. It's one of the true pillars of Hollywood cinema. It's so, but that doesn't mean you need a 3-hour snore fest. King Kong is essentially a trashy monster movie.
Right.
That's reputation has elevated it. But at its heart, it's a trashy monster movie, and at the end they go, "It was beauty that killed the beast." It's like, okay, right, that doesn't mean, now everything has to be in slow motion, and no. I don't need to learn why that Kong and her have a really great relationship or anything. I don't need that. I just, I also don't need to spend 40 minutes watching Adrian Brody run away from fucking dinosaurs in a really embarrassing CGI scene where he's just like running.
Yeah.
Like just imagine I've got a green screen behind me and there's just dinosaurs going at us. Oh, oh,
react, react on your left, react.
Oh no! Oh! I've come to the edge of a cliff.
You think he goes to his trailer after that, and he's like, "I was in The Pianist, and here we are." Here we are now. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I like Naomi Watts a lot. I'm also a huge Tank Girl comic, and I love that movie still to this day.
Was she Tank Girl?
No, she was Jet. She was Jet Girl.
I've never even seen Tank Girl, to be honest.
Oh, so. You would hate it. You need to watch it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, Ice-T dressed as a kangaroo man? Are you serious?
Well, I mean...
Malcolm McDowell? Oh, man, yeah.
Malcolm McDowell. I'll go there from Malcolm McDowell. That's fine.
I love it. I love this movie. Me and Christine both love. Oh my gosh, put it on your list. I would love to hear Craig's review of Tank Girl. Oh my god. I can't believe you haven't seen that one. It was you said you brought up one the other day. What was it? It was a werewolf movie that had Jesse Eisenberg in it and Christina Ricci. Is that right? Was it Christina Ricci?
No. Is it called Cursed?
Yeah. And so you're like, wow, I didn't even know this existed, and neither did I. So I looked up the trailer, and it was as bad as I hoped it would be.
Oh, it's just complete trash, and people just love to comment on that. They're like, there's an X-rated version that's 100 times better. It's like 100 times 0 is fucking 0. Okay, it's shit. It's like got those scenes. Every movie where someone's turned into a vampire or turned into a werewolf or whatever, there's always a scene where someone cuts themselves and they can't control themselves. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've got to have the blood. I think someone gets a nosebleed and Christina Ricci's like, Christina, that's fucking gross.
Don't want to watch that.
Why would you cast Christina Ricci in anything? I don't understand it. You spend half the movie trying to work out how old she's supposed to be in it. Is she 4 or is she 45? She's playing she's not a single mother, but it's a brother and sister, and she's the older sister and she's working, and I'm like, but is she 18 or 25 or 40? How old is she meant to be in the...
No.
That's all I spent the whole movie doing. It's not about becoming a werewolf. It's just... How close to menopause is this character?
Yeah, that's... Oh. Christina, if you're out there, thank you for all you've done and contributed.
Oh, she's in the chat, actually. Hi, Christina.
She's my cousin.
She's just done a super chat.
Craig, it's a super chat from Christina Ricci that says, kill me now, help me. Interesting. You don't want to let that one out. Punker Mike is in here. He said, did someone say Tank Girl? We did, and thank you for showing up, Punker Mike. Mad respect to all the coolness you do.
He did my Doctor Doom Game Boy that's on the wall here.
Really? Wow, that doesn't surprise me. He's a very talented and a very awesome guy. I like him a lot. We got a lot of... That's the coolest thing about that I've found doing some of these streams and whatnot, and the crowd that's been coming in is... I'd always heard YouTube was horrible. It was full of... which I'm sure there's a lot of terrible things going on in there. But when you avoid... I turned off notifications after I had commented on it was... I won't get into what it was, but it was drama, which I don't like to be a part of, and I was a part of it. And I kept getting notifications, and I was like, I have to turn the notifications off. So now I never know when anybody's commenting on anything anymore. So it makes it a little easier. If you just push it away deep down inside, that's what I've always heard, is if you push all that down, it goes away, apparently. That's good advice. So you could take that for what it's worth.
I don't know. If you just push it down long enough, eventually it will just explode.
No,
amazing fashion.
No, it just goes away.
Look, I check out my YouTube comments every day.
Oof.
Here's one.
Oh boy.
He's like, can you tell us where to buy this toy, please? An address of the store. I say, I made it. You can't buy it. How and from where? okay, and I'm like, I can't show you how to make it. It's like, but if I can't buy it, then what is the purpose of showing us this? It's like, okay.
Could you imagine?
Like, okay, well,
Like, could you? I don't understand that. Like, it's almost like watching a movie. It's like, how do I make this movie? Like talking to Steven Spielberg and be like, it's like, why would you even show us this movie if you're not going to tell us how to make the film? Why?
if I can't drive Optimus Prime, what's the point in Optimus Prime?
I love it. That's if these aren't 1-1 scale, done with it.
I can kind of,
Yeah.
you've got a point. It's a terrible point.
Oh, wow. Greg Sarabia Arts in here says, "What's up, fellas? Two of my favorite creators. So cool to see. Bill bringing people together." That's right. That's right, Craig.
Billy Mahoney bringing families together.
I've known Craig a very, very, very long time, so this is honestly just a catching up for us. It's been a minute. It's been so long. I'm really glad I decided to reach out. I felt like it's been weird. Like I don't want to harp on Corona, but I mean there's no getting around that this thing is obviously went longer than anybody thought, and it's interesting talking to somebody like you, or then I talked to like Elliot, Chinook over there, and and then my buddy Hugo in Brazil, just to see like the differences and everything that's changed. And I feel like Texas was just like, we'll shoot it, we'll shoot Corona, it don't matter, we don't have to do anything. And then
that's surprising. I wouldn't have expected that from Texas.
A lot of people died because of that. But yeah, it's been something else, man. It's been really interesting because right now this is my work computer at home, and so since I do video editing and graphics, it's a little easier for me and my wife to actually sit here and work from home. We're very, very blessed when it comes to that. But yeah, it's actually that's what kind of got me into doing these streams as well. I was like, well, I've got this nice computer here, so whenever things go back to normal, the streams will stop and you'll never hear from me again. That'll be it. I'll be gone in the wind.
This is a coping mechanism.
Yeah, that was it. That'd be done. No, this is yeah.
Close the door, Christine. I'm streaming, and you just close the door and go, oh.
Well, it was so it was something that I found interesting, like and I'm not gonna get into this. Don't let this like make you get nervous, but with all politics and everything like that, and like me and Christine started getting on the definition of engagement the other day, and I was like, I'm tired of the Facebook engagement where it's just people just fighting each other and screaming and who's better, what guy won and what guy didn't win. And then I was like, this is the engagement that I like. We try to do chats every single day, in our group. We'll fire them up and talk with just our friends. Kind of like, back in the day, like we used to. The tiny chat days and Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts and all that stuff. I mean, that's what we do, but just through Facebook Messenger. Because I got rid of Facebook, but I kept the Messenger. And we're able to chat through there, and it's nice. That's the kind of engagement I like, and stuff like this, like these streams. I think these are what's important, really important right now, because I think people need to hear, they need to laugh. They need to see people communicating with each other, that it's still possible. You know what I mean? Especially two people that aren't going to sit there and bite each other's head off. I don't want that. Don't attack me, Craig.
Not unless you want to talk about politics.
I don't.
You want to cancel me? You want to get cancelled? Right here in the live stream. Cancel culture.
Cancel culture? You mean you got fired?
How dare you? I got cancelled. My boss told me not to say something, and I said it, and I got cancelled.
I think you got fired. I think that's what firing is when you do something your job told you not to do.
I'm allowed to have an opinion.
Sure you are. In the unemployment line, apparently now. But Casting Cave says, nope, I came here to see a fight. That's...
Oh.
Get
him in the room. Get him in the room.
The offense. I'm not bringing you in here, Corey. You can wait till next time.
You can fight me when you put your face on camera, Corey. Camera shy.
He does.
Driven.
He does put his face on the chats. Yeah, it's always Corey.
Oh.
But he had a new camera at the time, so he wanted to show off his work, not his
terrible fingernails and cuticles.
Oh, see, if I had that, Christine got me to actually do that. I used to bite my nails for as long as I can remember, and Christine got me into it. I don't know if you remember, but she does. all that stuff. Oh my.
She's a nail artist.
Oh, she is a nail artist, and she's very good at it too. It's crazy. She asked me for one of my my Bill Maru masks the other day. She's like, "Can I have one?" I'm like, "What kind of like that's the
No.
relationship we have?" Yeah, no. I mean, it's gonna cost you. I'm sorry. I mean, just we have a shared bank account, but don't spend some money. But I think she's gonna paint some with her
Judge
nail
Judy
polish.
recommends against that.
Well, it was well. So I've got one, and so what I showed her was like you could take some sticky tack, and it literally looks like a nail.
Oh,
Yeah, and so she was
there
like,
you
"Oh,"
go.
she's like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I was like, "Go paint it, and do something with, have fun with it, please."
Do your shellac or whatever.
Lacquer, nail lacquer.
Yeah.
Um, did you? I never saw like I know you did your giant Bowser, but
Yeah.
did you ever get around to sending that Ganon to me? You promised that you finished the big one.
Yeah. Did you not get him?
No, I never got it. It's weird. I never got a tracking number or even a notification that it shipped.
That's very strange.
That is a character that I desperately want and upsets me so greatly. Look at that son of a, oh my god, it's so beautiful.
It's right out there. That's in there.
That's how they point in the UK. That's the Scottish hello.
Yeah.
It bothers me greatly that we don't have an official Ganon. Well, I have an official Ganon figure from way back in the day, but it's this little dumpy, like McDonald's looking toy where the legs go out like this so he can ride his horse, and it just looks stupid. Nothing about it is threatening at all.
I bought a Ganondorf figure in 1999, I think.
Did he come with a horse?
I don't no, I think it was the series that predated that. It was like they only
Oh.
made Link and Ganondorf.
Okay.
But then I think when Majora's Mask came out, they maybe did a bunch again or something.
Oh, I know they did.
But yeah.
What it was it? They did the Wind Waker ones too, and I'm like, who wants Wind Waker Ganon? Like, it's just a fat Ganon, just a big.
Well, controversial. Who wants Wind Waker at all?
Hey, Wind Waker was good. Wind Waker's good. I remember when I first started, I was like, this is gonna be trash. So good. Unpopular opinion.
No, I was exactly the opposite. I was like, this is going to be so good. Like, they're going to return to, like, the cell shaded style. I really like that. They're trying something different. Like, 400th time of playing my fucking baton to change the wind and then putting my sail up.
Did you? So you played it? You played it when it originally came out. Then
I got it in Japan on the GameCube.
So when they put it back on, when they redid it or remastered it, put it on the Wii U.
On the Wii U,
it was amazing because all of that time was cut out.
Lies.
No, it was good. No, it was so good. Oh my goodness, Moose the Creator. Love you, Moose, with a $50 super chat that says, "Hey guys, love both you guys."
$50.
$50. This is Moose. This guy is incredible. Says, "Hope to make customs as badass as you, Craig. Also, Billy, love the masks you made. Expect a purchase from me. LOL. Take care." Moose, why don't you go ahead and message me your address and I'll send you one. And I'll paint one up for you because that's very generous of you. It's on me. Absolutely. Good Lord. That's crazy, Moose. Message me, buddy. I need to hear from you anyway. So, thank you. Goodness, what a generous offering.
If anyone else wants to put a super chat and take their chances on Bill's generosity, go see how far you get.
Dude, I'm so bad with those. Christine's like, you need to sell those masks. I was like, people are buying them. She's like, you need to sell them though because that's the whole point of making them. I was like, no, the point is to give people something fun to do. She's like, you're just gonna lose money. It's just like, whatever. Luckily, Anthony's doing them all for me, so not for free though. Yeah. He's not like I have to pay him, and you guys should shame Anthony.
That resin don't come cheap. I mean, that guy's talents are boundless. The time that he's taken to do that, he could be making Red Hood holsters or Red Hood pistols.
I hope he's in here.
Red Hood hoods or
he's not even in here.
Red Hood bat symbols. You can watch it later.
Speaking of 3D printing, that's the new venture for the Warrack, is it not? Is this something that what made
I
you get
guess
into
so.
this?
Feeling left out, fear of missing out. You know, these general paranoid mental health crises that you'll go through where you, oh no, I'm irrelevant. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Other people were doing it, and I was like, hey, that person is trash. I could do better.
What you seem? I mean, obviously you have sculpting talents. Physically, like literally, yeah. From those fingers comes the some amazing work. Did you pick up on the 3D sculpting? Like, it looks like it took you no time. It's ridiculous how fast you did
Um,
that.
I'm still not. I mean, obviously, I still wouldn't want to. Like, if Hasbro approached me and said, "Oh, could you do a 3D sculpt for us?" I'd probably be like, "Oh no, I'll probably have to go back and actually learn how to do it properly." I just think that with customizing, everything is. I don't know. You don't have to learn it. You don't have to start with it. You can just like try it until it works. It's not like where you're cooking and like you burn it and that's the
Sure,
end of it. It's
sure.
like you just keep prodding it until it goes the way you want and you learn a lesson from that and keep going.
That's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, I didn't really do much studying on it. Like I started, I'm very bad at um, studying by myself. Like when I went to university, I really couldn't cope very well outside of classes. I could never like read a book and study. I got bored, I got distracted. So
Hmm.
when I try and like watch YouTube videos about how to do things, I I turn them off. Like
Right.
I'm like, oh no, I'll just watch Judge Judy instead. Like just put on the Golden Girls again.
Yeah.
Um that's all I do. So I don't really understand the technicalities behind what I'm doing, like the meshes and the subdivisions of the meshes
Hmm.
and all these technical things that go into it and why you should do it at this resolution and why you should do it at that resolution. I just poke it until it works.
That's
So
awesome. Huh. It makes me think of like what is it? The type of sculpting that you can do that you can just keep sculpting and then it doesn't harden until you bake it, or you know what I'm talking about, like that.
oh
I'm sure
yeah,
you have
uh-huh.
experience with that. I don't. I've never ever worked with
I
sculpt like
got a
that.
book. Yeah, I got a book and it said all the different types of sculpting material. And there was like people sculpt in wax or something, and they use like a hot thing to move it. Or there's I don't know some chemical cryoline or I don't know
Sure.
what it's called, but yeah, and they just keep moving it or just clay. Like clay itself doesn't really, as long as you keep it moist, it'll stay forever until you fire it. So
Right.
it's just that kind of thing. But for me, the digital sculpting is interesting because it isn't really there's digital sculpting and then there's 3D printing, and they're actually two completely separate processes from what I understand. If you go in and look to learn about digital sculpting, people are sculpting for all different reasons, and most of them are that the piece will remain digital forever. It will be in a movie, or they're doing special effects, or they're doing video games or something.
Sure.
So yeah, they aren't thinking about how something will then go on and exist in the real world,
Right.
about how to make it the right size to fit on an existing action figure. You're going to have to figure that stuff out yourself
Okay.
because the majority of people out there aren't doing that.
Right.
So
That's that's interesting. And I think that seems to be a common. I wouldn't call it a problem, but a common process with many artists. Like, cause me and my wife, we're hands on, and we went to a hands on college as well for video and graphics and stuff like that. And yeah, there's something about where you sit there. Like sometimes she has to read two or three times before she's like, "Oh my gosh, I had to read this sentence like three times before it finally like
right,
stuck." But whenever you get your hands on something like I could read about a camera all day and probably walk out not knowing, maybe knowing the definition of an f stop or aperture, But getting my hands on it and touching it and playing with it, you don't have to tell me anything. I'll figure that thing out. It's gonna happen.
Right.
So hearing that about the 3D sculpting, I hope that would give people some inclination to join, because just watching, just seeing the sculpt you did of yourself. My God, Craig. I mean, I know you're your biggest critic, but I knew exactly who it was right when I saw it. Not even seeing, I scrolled through and I was like, oh my God, somebody made Craig, and it was you, because apparently
Well,
that's a thing that's happening now. Is people are making figures of of other
it's
people.
embarrassing, frankly. It's embarrassing. It's nothing but vanity. It's the height of self-obsession. It's narcissistic. It's pathetic, frankly.
Well, let's slow down.
Um,
You know.
so I thought, well, why, I'm all of those things. Why not try
Yeah,
that?
yeah. That's that's funny, man. That's what I always get on with I've got two versions of myself now. I wanted to do an animated, and I love, just because, yeah, it's fun. We're toy collectors, and how freaking cool is it to have, I don't know, one of yourself. I think it's just one of the neatest things ever. Uh, it makes me nervous, though, that there are people out there making figures of other people without even asking them. Um,
It is a bit yeah.
I
I like people are like, oh, I want one, I want to buy one. I'm like, you could, I don't know, like you could put me on a Red Skull or something, put me at the head of a Hydra army. I'm like,
or
I don't know.
or they could put you on some nude body with Woody from Toy Story doing weird things with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
you're fine with that.
don't really mind, to be honest. As long as they put me on Wolverine or something, no,
Yeah,
I'm okay.
that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I trust people, and I can't see them being like, hey, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this middle-aged bald man with the beard and the eye that looks like he's had a stroke. I don't think they're going to go out and like destroy the internet with that meme. But
No. Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know. Like it was just, I just with that, I just wanted to work on a likeness that
Yeah,
was right. Like it's hard to work from a photograph because it is a 3D thing. So being able
sure.
to like actually look in a mirror at myself, and it's completely disheartening as well, because you're like, you start off with like a template head. These apps or programs all come with like a template
Right.
bust that
Okay.
you then manipulate, and you're like, how can I deform and disfigure this template so that it
Looks like you. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, this eye is much lower down than this one.
There's.
Great magic. Oh, there's always these three fucking marks up here. My head isn't this smooth dome. It's got these fucking bumps in here, and it like kind of goes in there and comes up to a point.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll try.
Yeah. They give you this symmetrical human where you're like,
Yeah. That's like when you're sculpting digitally, there's this button that's symmetry.
yeah.
You just like, I guess I better switch that off then.
That's awesome. That is interesting though. That's cool though. I love the fact that you jumped into that, because it does seem like almost like that next evolution of of your sculpting, which you don't see a whole lot. I don't know. It seems like the world is turned towards that more 3D medium, like kind of going from paper comics to physical comics. I know a lot of us still love that feel of a physical comic in your book, but even I've like moved over to where now I can have
Yeah.
what 40 volumes of something, volumes, not just a comic in this. It just makes more sense not to
Right? It,
amass
well,
stuff.
it makes going to the bathroom a lot quicker these days. You know, when you used to have to dance in front of your bookshelves, almost you were touching cloth,
Yeah.
going, oh no, I don't want to read that again.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I've got everything, and even things I haven't read ever before
Yeah.
here in the palm of my hand, which I'm not going to wash. I'm just going to have my turd smeared tablet all over the place.
No. That is awesome. That is hilarious, man. I love it. That's yeah,
Um,
it's like I said, it's just really cool to see that. And the fact that 3D printing is so, I mean, it's affordable if you really
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I know. I'm looking at one actually myself right now. So, all the masks that I've been selling, like I'm trying to put that towards a 3D printer fund, just so it honestly, everything I try to get from these super chats to whatever it is, like the mask sales and then repair purchases, don't go to like my toy collection. I've got a real, I have a job for that. I can support myself, and if I want some new toys. But for this stuff, which a lot of people say I'm too damn cheap on the repairs, so that is what it is. It's not really about money. It's about I try to just be a helpful person to this. So all that money needs to go towards my repair stuff. Like I want materials and products. So I'm hoping that I can probably invest in a 3D printer as well and figure out maybe how to make joints and pieces, little pieces that might help me
Yes.
and do something like that. I think that would be just awesome. Um,
Yeah. I mean, because the 3D prints when they come out, they're so strong. Like they're so much stronger than if you got like I've watched your streams where you take a piece and you drill a hole through it, and that obviously decreases the structural integrity of
yes.
the whole thing, and it becomes quite fragile. But you have to be careful with that. But when you print these things out, they are they're so robust. And it's just amazing
Wow.
because there's no yeah, I don't know why it is, but anyway, it's just
No.
they're so strong. So it's such a I would think it would work really well for you.
Mm.
So really, everyone in the chat just now should be doing a super chat so that Billy can get his 3D printer,
There's
and then we
a
won't have to hear him fucking dremeling things anymore over the top of Captain McKay. I mean,
There's also a link to the masks if you guys want them. They're at the top. No pressure. It's just if you guys want one, cool. If not, no worries. I just appreciate the support and stuff like that. But I think I don't know that definitely seems like something I'd be interested in. I just think it'd be cool, man. I've seen so much fun stuff come out of 3D printing, and I mean I know a lot of people use it for. You'll use it for heads and you'll use it for guns and all sorts of stuff. Watching Anthony do it has been really cool because he's learning it as well. And so seeing like he gave me all of his duds as he called them. He's like, I had all these fails, and basically it was like something missed with the printing and whatnot. So I got to play with like the broken ones and fixed them basically, like for like little. I have an example here. Like he gave me like a gun like this that has
oh wow,
attachments that come off and stuff like that, and then this wouldn't fit in like this piece right here. So I dremeled it out, and then was able to make it fit in like
works
this clip.
perfect.
Yeah, I just kind of play around with that, but it was like it just got me thinking how cool it would be to be able to take something like this and recreate that. Like that's what I want.
Right.
That's what I want more than anything because
Yeah, I mean, you could
God,
create the swivels, the hinges, the ball joints, just over and over.
yeah,
And then
that's what I want to do. I think and I because you brought it up, just watching me dremel out a piece or make one and like oh god, mezco, especially those female wrists. Oh my goodness, those things are so brittle and breaking all the time. And then you give me a Harley Quinn, I gotta find that color red. You know what I mean? Like, cause you don't.
right.
I go as close as I can. And Mafex Spider Man, my God, the amount.
He's on my shelf here.
Yeah,
That's where I think I'm the only person with an intact.
yeah.
I'll get in trouble if I say Mayfix. Mayfix comes out my mouth, but Toy Migos will laugh at me. It's Mafix.
Oh, is it
In
Mafex?
case you didn't, it's Mafix.
Oh, I say Mafex too.
Me too.
I think
I don't know why.
I think we're
I
right.
probably got it from Book or something. No, we're not. It's Mafix.
Okay, Mafex.
Like when they were posted something about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, those guys, that's not what it is. And I went and looked at the Japanese website, and I was looking at the characters, and I was like, no, it's Mafix.
Oh, I feel weird. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I say that. Mafex.
How does it feel to have been wrong all your life?
Just another day, Craig. Hey, Billy Moon's in here. What's up, everyone? Says Billy Moon. Billy Moon, thank you for being in here. He's He's amazing. I love Billy. Hey, Captain McKay Randall. I knew you Cap was in here. Captain's been hanging out, just listening to us, just talk back and forth. Oh, so my friend Clayton is in here. Good friend. He's a friend. He's a local friend. Known him for years. And his wife is in here and says, Craig's voice is so calm and relaxing. Have you ever considered reading bedtime stories? I'd listen.
Yeah, but only to your husband.
That's going to kill her. She's going to laugh her ass off. Right there.
Sometimes when you're sleeping and he can't sleep, he calls me up.
He just calls Craig.
Craig. I just read to him. I just read.
He reads him so
he falls
hard.
Right asleep.
He reads so hard. Oh, look, Captain McKay's learning it too. Look, it's Mofex for real. Next, you're going to tell me it's Mothra and not Mothra.
Oh, no, it's Mothra.
Mothra. You should have known. That's how fancy it can be. Is Mothra. That's the French Mothra.
Oh, like here's one of my people is in here. Kit McLeod. Hi, and Bob the Odd is here too.
Bob the Odd's always here. He's always around. Like that's.
He's a sad bastard, really, and he got nothing better to do than turn up here, Bob.
That right there makes him smile. I guarantee you. He's supposed to be moving down here. One of these days, he's going to be moving down where we are. His brother lives over here, close to us. And it's going to be great. We're gonna pal around with Bob all the time. Get him back into society.
Good.
I'm gonna get him back building diodes.
You sure that's why? Oh, our society. Okay.
We're gonna reintroduce
society at large.
We're gonna reintroduce Bob. It's like, don't do that. No, don't do that. So this is interesting. So just for like the American viewer side who don't know, and this is one of the things that always like interests me is like, how hard is it to like to get some of these releases over in the UK? Like how available are they? Because oh my God, I had to go to Walgreens. I went to Walgreens for Elliot to find him this like exclusive Transformer, and well, I sent it to him, and the damn thing has been to Los Angeles, UK, twice now. So I don't know if he's ever gonna get it. But before that, it's always been pretty easy to get him stuff, but still, he doesn't have access to that stuff. What's it like being like a collector there? Obviously, you make your own stuff, but...
Well, Elliot, okay, that kid had me going around stores in Japan looking for Kamen Rider fucking XYZ or whatever. I don't fucking know.
That's Elliot.
And I bet it's in the trash now. It's in the trash. He's over it. Anyway. Bless him. No, it's fine. Like, okay. It used to be awful. Like, flat out awful.
Yeah.
We fully relied on, I guess, like, supermarkets, like your Walmarts or whatever. We just hoped that they would pick up a line. Even our toy stores, like Toys R Us, and we have a similar Toys R Us one called Smith's over here. They were just, they focus on a younger market,
mm-hmm.
and there isn't a collector market. Like I noticed when I went to the US and went into Toys R Us, they would have like, I would go into like the kids aisles and I'd be like, there's nothing here. Like there's no Marvel Legends, there's nothing. But they would be like in a more collector sort of area further into the store.
Okay.
Like, along with the NECA stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But here we never had any of that. Like you can't get NECA stuff at retail here. It just doesn't exist unless you go to like a really specialty comic store. But we have all of these online stores now, and those are the places where we get stuff. I have no problem getting stuff, as long as you don't sleep on it.
Right.
And by sleep on it, I mean wait a year after it comes out. Like.
Wow.
Like, it's not, like, you don't have to get it immediately. Like, they will get restocked and whatever quite frequently. You can get it.
I've
But
seen.
it's not like we have to drive around and find stuff anymore, which you guys still have to do. It seems insane that you're driving all around and people are like scalping stuff, and we just don't seem to have that.
It is pretty terrible. I mean, and it's thankfully so. That's why I started like a small, like the Toy Canic Discord group. We started it just because like, hey, if you have toy repair questions, cool, you can ask those there. Sure, it's kind of whatever. But then I got our local guys together in a very small group. I think there's maybe 5 or 6 of us here, and we look out for each other. These guys are in the Metroplex, and we're all in this like kind of a cool triangle of like just enough. We're just far enough away from each other to like really gather a good amount of ground, and none of us have had any issues finding anything, and it's awesome. It's like the Justice League of like local collectors, where we can fight the scalpers, and people, everybody works different hours. We've got some guys working nights, some guys working days, so it's kind of cool to like be able to go in, because like, you know, NECA Ninja Turtles, and that's me. That's what I, it sucks to be, they got me by the short hairs on that one. I'm like, I have to collect these damn cartoon turtles because it's my favorite thing ever, and they're hard. They're hard. It's hard to get. Like sometimes you'll walk, it'll blow your mind. Like the Splinter Baxter pack, which is one of the coolest 2 packs I've seen them make, is like in surplus. It's just insane, like how many of those there are. But then you came down to, what was it? What was one of the Casey Jones? Of course, for some reason, Casey Jones is, everybody wants, even the cartoon version, which I'm like, it was like Steven Seagal in sweatpants, but people wanted that version. Like for some reason, that's what they wanted. But I don't know. It is wild here, and I've even seen people have an easier time getting NECA stuff, ordering from overseas, uh, like online retailers. Apparently, there's like a German site and I think a UK site where people order their NECA turtles from, instead of trying to
Yeah,
brave the Target crowds here.
the I think the NECA turtle stuff is super delayed here and in Canada though by sometimes up to 6 months or something.
Oh
But
wow!
people are okay with that as long as they get it.
Right,
Like that's okay with them.
right, okay. Oh, repeat DC 2325 with a 9.99 super chat says, "Love y'all."
Ooh,
Oh, thank you.
there you go. That'll go in your 3D printer fund.
All $2.
Almost there.
All two
Almost there,
dollars that
people.
Google lets me keep. Thanks, Google.
Oh, do they? Do
Oh,
those bastards take something off?
they take like a 30.
Oh
They
my
take like
goodness.
30%. That's what I should. That's what I. You know, this was crazy. So me and Christine were huge live music fans. We love going to concerts and all that stuff. And obviously, we haven't been able to do that. So a lot of our favorite bands have done these things where they'll do like their live streams and whatnot, just like this, and they have to. It's like there's one pretty cool one called Stage It, where they don't, I don't think they take as much off, but then these other guys would do live streams on like Instagram, like live concerts. They're like, here's our PayPal, if you'll send whatever
Oh
money you want
yeah.
to, or tips to the PayPal, and just go ahead and send them straight, trying to bypass that, you know, those fees and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man, that's sorry.
Outrageous.
I know it is crazy. Um, Greg Sarabia art says, as a middle-aged white woman divorcee on the inside, you know I love a good trip to Target, but not for toys. Wastelands. Damn.
What does he mean? What? As a middle-aged white woman divorcee, he
On
likes a good trip.
to
Is that what?
Target.
Is that where white women go to pick up men?
No, just to pick up wine and sales
Oh,
and fight depression. Maybe is Target.
oh.
Oh, because there's a Starbucks right there when you walk in. So and that
Obviously, they
that's
can get a skinny latte and go for a wander.
that's how fat America is. Is we have cup holders on our shopping trolleys.
Oh, see that I could see when I went into Target for the first time. It was mind blowing. They had those big red
Yeah,
3D printed carts. I
they're
was like,
so
oh my god, it's like
smooth.
Star Trek: The Next Generation in here. It was like this is the future. Like you come here and it's like chicken wire and 3 sticks of bamboo. Wrestling.
That's see, that's the difference between Walmart and Target. Target is like very upper crusty,
Oh,
fancy. They like it's like I swear they have like some kind of garage in the back where they make sure those things are always running properly. And then Walmart's like, if it runs, it runs, and it's hard metal, and like you can get tetanus from it, and
It's the Mad Max of superstores.
yeah, it's just like you just come in with a mohawk on. It's like, what the hell's going on? It's got fire coming off the side. It's like, this is ridiculous. We've already
Here's in 3 gimps.
yeah. It's like, welcome to Walmart Dome. I was like, I don't like this place. This is not what I want to do. So I have to ask, did you collect? Did you get Stiltman?
No, I mean, I like Stillman. I like the idea of Stillman, but maybe if that had been like 2 years ago, I probably would have got the whole wave. But I've really tried to sort of rein it in.
Good.
I don't have space for it, and this shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone with eyeballs who's watching your stream at the moment. But neither does Billy. Look at that.
Here's the worst part. This is work from people. This is why I've had to.
Goodness.
This is why I've had to implement a new. Well, these are actually for Stiltman to make sure the legs stay strong because I'm going tall.
Oh yeah.
But anyways,
oh man,
a lot of friends have hooked me up with the legs. I've gone way too far with them. Anyways.
Oh dear.
Anyways, yeah. No, this is where.
So how taller?
Listen. Okay, so it's not a stream unless I get up. So I've got 4 more pairs coming from my man Ash Rock.
Everyone, you're welcome for me making Billy bend over in the stream.
It happens every time. I'm going to get up every single time. So here we are. This is... So I think each one is 6 inches. So what are we at? 1 foot, 2 foot, 3... I think at the end this will be about 4.5 feet. I've had to put a piece of coat hanger in here to make sure.
That's nearly as tall as me.
Yeah. I want it to be like eye level. But so I have not bought this many hand ninjas, so don't go crazy. I did buy 4 of them. That's that's overboard for me. I don't army build at all. And I kept finding
those are going in there.
I kept finding
those are going straight in the regret pile.
Dude. It's funny because I've got them next to my... I still have one of the old hand ninjas. That old hand ninja is just... I don't know what's funny.
I've got, yeah.
He's still... I still like it. I think it's a cool looking figure or whatever. It's a hand ninja. The new ones they look like this. Like they're the saddest.
They just look like, I don't know, like... They wouldn't even be, like, if you were to do, like, a ninja movie, they would be, like, the guys in the background.
Yes.
They'd be, like, the extra ninjas.
Yes.
They're standing by this way. They've just, like, got in a bunch of extras for the day and, like, put this red stuff on and they're just, like, in the background. And
put the cheap suits on these guys.
They just look like normal people.
Yeah, and but all of them look like they're just, obviously it's the same face sculpt, but still, they made their eyes look, like, kind of droopy on the sides. I'm like, this guy hates being a ninja. Like, yeah. He just found out he's going to be here for probably 17 more hours, and he's not getting paid anything. Like, this is... First, you were pretty hyped about being in the movie, and now it's like, let's put you in a row back, and then let's put this guy in front. It's like, oh, okay. That's him.
Yeah. You could have been a cardboard stormtrooper.
They're the second-hand ninjas. It's like
the second-hand ninja.
It's pretty rough. Yeah, I grabbed, like I said,
second-hand.
Dude, yeah, the second-hand. It's like, this is embarrassing. I grabbed a few of those, but other than that, and yeah, I wasn't gonna collect the Spider-Verse stuff. I love the movie. I absolutely love that movie. I think it's just phenomenal. But I was like, I don't need those. I saw the Gwen in person, and I was like, okay, the head sculpt is just... There's no reason for the head sculpts to be bad because they're literally 3D models already.
As digital.
So they've done a very good job I thought those were cool replicating. I ended up getting the whole wave, except for Frogman, which I thought I would get, and I ended up not getting him. Somebody got me the arm. I went in halves with my buddy Clayton because he wanted the Frogman. I was like, okay, let's do that. And then... I don't know, it kind of spiraled out from there. I ended up buying the Mafex Peter B. Parker, which is probably one of my favorite figures I've ever owned. It's ridiculous how much fun that thing is. For the price and everything, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen People seem to be projecting themselves onto him quite a lot.
Yep, this is what they want. They want, oh, I could be Spider-Man too, just a fat, lazy slob who can't match his shoes.
Yeah, I'm even like, I know that's a fat Spider-Man, but you're a little bit fatter than that, so it's still it's a little bit wish fulfillment.
That's
Says the guy who's putting his head on a fucking Dr. Doom and a Wolverine.
Yes, it's fun. That's just the most fun you can do, though. You gotta be like, you gotta have fun with it at least. But yeah, it is pretty funny to see some of the posts. The cool thing though is that I was kind of upset that I bought the Hasbro Peter B because I'm like, this figure is just trash compared to the Mafex, which, you know, every now and then it's a gamble with either one, and at least this one's a $20 gamble. But then I noticed that the head was smirking, and the Mafex wasn't. So
the different expressions.
Yeah, got an extra head for it, and because it looks great, I mean, and you can just pop it on. It's a Mafex body, so just slap the head on there. So it's cool. I don't know. I like that. I didn't get the Miles. God, they gave him some big Jinko shorts. Like he was ripped right out of like the early 2000s, late 90s, and his shorts are huge.
Hey, I used to wear those.
Yeah,
I used to wear those. So.
yeah, absolutely. I don't need to remember that.
But I won't buy a figure of it.
See, it's like, yeah, that's nostalgia that I don't want to remember. Like, no.
I don't need to be able to remember the days when I would go and put on my jeans and then try and walk and realise that I had both legs on the same leg. You know?
You're just wearing a dress with a weird like pipe next to you.
It's like, oh, maybe these are too big. No, get my wallet chain on.
Yeah.
Let's go, motherfucker.
That's awesome. Oh, sorry, Captain McKay. I didn't get the Mafex, Miles.
You know, you didn't. You're letting us all down.
Oh,
it's disgusting, really.
Oh, I know. I'm just.
Toy Migos will be coming for you.
Last thing I need is Josh Chaney coming after me. That's ridiculous. Or Adam, who's always going to take his shirt off on every stream if he can.
Oh, why haven't they had me? It's probably because I would do that.
That's what you've been missing. Oh, Billy Moon said the Bill Maru mask would make the hand ninjas look better. There it is. See?
There you go.
See, there it is. It's easy as that. My buddy Ori that I actually met through these he's a local guy actually. I met him through the live streams and whatnot. Fantastic guy. Just one of those people that whenever we met and we left, Christine was like, he's a good guy, isn't he? I was like, how'd you know that? She's like, I could just tell. So shout out to you, Ori. Really, really cool guy. He's just one of those. I think it's one of those cool things that we get from these local guys, and he keeps saying that he's done the 1-2 Maru for when he does the thigh mods. The 1-2. I was like,
oh, I see.
What were you? You went somewhere else, didn't you?
That's where you get both. Both.
Oh no, not that one. No, not that way. Not that way. The 1-2.
1-2 Maru.
Oh, God. Good night, everybody.
That's revolt.
just cut it.
Absolutely.
So
honestly, the filth on this stream, week after week.
This is a family show. This is supposed to be nice. They did get me cursing pretty hard one day. I got really excited about music. I let everybody down.
You and your Spice Girls going off in the Spice Girls again?
Yeah, you know it's funny. Christine has that those two sets of the 12-inch like Barbies in box. She has all of those in box. Yeah. And I was looking up at them. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, did those come with little figures of themselves in the boxes in there? She's like, yeah.
Yes, they do.
I'm like, she'd probably let me open them. Like I'm gonna be in there messing with her, but I don't want to do that.
Do not open those.
I'm not going to open them. I was like, oh man, what was it? I was looking for glass. Oh, I was thinking that Barbie glasses could probably fit the Plunderlings pretty well. Like their glasses, and it's because of the width of their head. Were you fortunate enough to get any of those?
No, I wasn't. No. Like I saw them and I was like I just like, I do want these things, but my approach to collecting now is that I am happy that it exists.
Okay.
And I am happy that I don't own it.
Oh, I like
Does that
that.
make sense?
Yes, yeah, that
So,
definitely makes
like,
sense.
that, I try and, like, whenever they reveal a new thing, I'm always foaming at the mouth. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I've got to have it, got to have it, must buy it, must pre-order. And then I'm like, is it enough that
Mm,
I see it on my feed all the time, that I can go and look at a picture of it all the time, I can watch a YouTube video of it all the time? I don't need it, because it most likely won't end up on my shelf.
yeah.
It'll end up on my shelf for a month and then go in a bag and go in a drawer. That's a
Yes.
waste. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
See,
happy that it exists, but
that's what my next what I really really want to do is clean out the shelves so bad. I have so many cool things still in boxes. Like I have like here's an example right next to me. I've got like this I love this figure. I love this Revo
mhm.
Carnage and I want him on my shelf. There's no room right now. I mean, obviously you could see just that's not even the Marvel shelf behind me, and it's turned into one of those things where now what was it that was released the other day? It was the Zemnu wave, which was a interesting.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I want that because it's so I love classic stuff, and I'm like, hang on, because everybody's saying, look, you can order the whole wave right now. It's up, and I was like, okay, I gotta go get that. And I started looking at it, and I'm like, okay, there's a few things that I want here, but that, the hood figure might have been that moment where like I'm looking at everything, and all of a sudden I see him, and like just kind of sad music turns on, and it's slowly looking at the hood, and I was like,
the leaves start falling,
I was
and
like,
it's just like, oh,
I was like, do I really, do I need this? And I see arcade, and I'm like, okay, I think it's one of those points where now I just want to have maybe and this is the hard part. I want to collect X Men, love X Men. That'll never stop. That love will never go away. But whenever the core Avengers, how do you decide what the core Avengers are? Do I want to
right.
do a classic core? Do I want to? I don't read Avengers. I watch Avengers in films. I'm terrible. I like as far as a comic fan, like Avengers never. They just never clicked with me as
It
much.
hasn't appealed to a lot of people, Avengers, to be honest.
I
That's
don't.
why they
Everybody's too
they
powerful.
exploded it.
Yeah, everybody was always too damn powerful, and I was like, I like the X Men because there's no Superman in the group. There's never been a Superman. I mean, maybe Wolverine, but even Wolverine, I'm like, damn, I don't envy this character at all. Like, at all. I don't. Yeah, you know?
Yeah, for me, the Avengers are at their worst when they are a collection of really, really powerful people. I
Gods.
think, like, Marvel have the Avengers and DC have the Justice League. And the Justice League are a collection of immensely powerful people, and I think they work that way.
Yeah.
But the Avengers are people that work well as a team, which
Right.
is entirely different. Like you can if you want like in Marvel, a team that is immensely powerful is the Defenders. You've got the Hulk, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, and Namor, and they hate each other. They
Yeah.
can't work as a team, so that's interesting.
Right.
But the Avengers are like they all live in a house together, and
It's like a
they have soap
sitcom.
opera nonsense like, oh, Wanda can't choose between the Vision and Wonder Man when her love brought Wonder Man back from the dead. Oh, what's she gonna do? Like it's that kind of crap. I'm like, that's what I'm after. Like this whole
Drama.
dynamic between them all and how they work together.
Right.
When Wanda's power for so long was like, I'll don't worry, I'll make this jar of paper clips fall onto their head.
Yeah.
Oh, like, oh, thanks. Wanda, you've thrown him off balance. Now Thor can beat the fuck out of him. Okay.
With his big hammer. That is that's hilarious. That's so yeah, that's so Avengers. Like it just feels like some kind of wacky sitcom. When it's at its best, it's a wacky sitcom. And
It's complete soap opera trash. And
yeah.
then when they like destroyed them and they're like, okay, it's Spider Man, it's Wolverine, it's the Sentry, it's Iron Man. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't. Who's shagging who in this team? That's all I. And how many times have they died?
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like that's ridiculous. I look on my shelf and I'm trying to like I think a lot of people I like this kind of street level heroes a lot. I've always enjoyed like the old Max comics and Marvel Knights and stuff like that. Um, I won't lie that don't think I've ever read a Blade comic that I just enjoyed. I think I like the idea of Blade, but for some reason, I'm like, have I just not hit the right comic with him? I
So sometimes, there's times when movies do something that the comics have kind of been skating around for so long, and the movies just take it and they make it like Blade needs to be cool, and he isn't really cool in the comics,
mm-hmm,
but he was cool in the movies.
right.
And sometimes the movies can just nail that so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Captain America, they can make him into like a nice guy who doesn't like bullies. When the comics have just been going around this whole patriot angle and like he's an old fuddy duddy for so long and
Yeah,
just really dull.
right.
So sometimes like the movies can really just crystallize it and you're like, that's what and then the comics try and do that and they can't get it either. So
Yeah,
I think Blade's a kind of a victim of that a lot of the
mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah. What's funny is one of the moments I really liked him in is this was recent. It's just this is one of those. This is one of those like really good actors in a terrible movie scenario. He was in the newest Marvel Zombies comic. It was only a 4-parter, very
Mm-hmm.
silly, kind of fun though. I honestly I found myself enjoying it a lot, just because it's Marvel Zombies. It is what it is. But they had like the English version of Blade. I like him. I like that for some reason. There's something about that like harkens back to like Bram Stoker and stuff like that. Like where it's like it seems more proper to be like this if I was to go attacking a vampire. But he's just kind of had this like Cockney kind of bit, and I was like, oh, I like that with Blade. I was like, for some reason that gave him something about I don't know. There was something like that gave that a little more class to Blade. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's.
Something about
I
it.
mean,
The intelligence that followed it. I don't
yeah,
know
I
if
mean, Blade is he's English.
right.
Like because we all think of Wesley Snipes dropping into a New York vampire rave, like we all think he's
Right.
American, but the character is from London.
Yeah.
So when he turned up in like MI13 or something, it was really cool. Like maybe there's something about punk about him, a bit,
Yeah.
something quite London about him. But it's just he gets wheeled into like the dark sunglasses and kind of like Harley Davidson sort of look
Yeah.
too much, and it's like that ain't cool.
Yeah.
Like it's something, but it's not
And that panders to
what
a
Blade needs
certain
to be.
that panders to that there's a certain crowd that loves that kind of stuff like Red Hood and stuff like that that has to be like, oh man, he's so edgy. And so I'm like, but that character you could
I want to
actually
be him.
yeah, I want to
I
be
want to
that.
be him.
Like, do you really want to be that? Like, I don't know. I think you're gonna find yourself in a lot more trouble than you expected. But it was interesting, like to read. He was written like you could see in the writing that he was like there was no getting away where he was from. Kind of like whenever you
Uh,
read the old Hellblazers and like it's obvious where John's
right.
from. You don't have to just throw a bollocks in every now and then. You can just read it and know where he's from without having it thrown in your face like that. But yeah, those street level characters, I really like those. I've actually got a amalgam Mezco blade, which I'm very picky choosy with my Mezco stuff. It's very
Oh, sure. Well, Mezco's like that,
yeah.
Well, more like that, but they're,
Their
I don't.
DC stuff is way better than their Marvel stuff, in my opinion. That's what I really. There's
Yeah,
a
I
few of
guess
them.
so.
I
But
have like 5 or 6, so I can't really, I guess, be the. I saw their new Doctor Fate coming out, and I was very excited. I like that. It just looked neat. Like it looked like a comic Doctor
I mean,
Fate. That's what I
yeah,
want.
I think he's a visually interesting character anyway, and they
Yes,
haven't gone overboard with putting him in Under Armour and
the
that kind of thing.
piping,
Let's just put a costume and then draw squiggly lines all over him. Like,
the.
just put him in a fucking costume.
Did you play? Have you played any of the new Mortal Kombat games at all?
Sure, I've
Have
played them all, but I've
what?
not been a fan since 9, to be honest.
There you go. Yeah, same here. Absolutely. Have you seen that what is that that trend now where it's like you got to take what used to be so awesome, very simple, very stripped down, super easy, and then it's like you said, slap this piping all over it. And I'm like, where
Yeah,
Mezco
just
does it and NetherRealm Studios does it and McFarlane is a he's guilty of
yeah,
doing that. It's like way over designed. It was like if you would just strip some of that back, pull it back, because there's been a few figures from Mezco I purposely didn't get because there was too much junk all over them. Just stuff slapped on. That's why I say the DC figures so far have been a little bit better because they keep them a little more
Hi
simple.
everyone. I'm Todd McFarlane.
Cool.
Here to tell you about another cool figure.
So
I've
cool.
got my leather jacket and my dark sunglasses on.
So cool.
I'm so cool.
It's so cool. Have you seen this? This is so cool. You guys are gonna freak out because of cool. Look at this. He's flying in right now. He's got the cool effects. It's the coolest thing, guys. I'm like,
that guy, bless him.
he definitely can get you
Thanks,
hyped
Grandpa.
up. He can get you hyped up, I guess. I mean, he's very excitable.